Assalamualaikum and hi. For today, we will look into Wide Area Network 1. 1 is a long-haul network covering wide geographical areas. So the key term here is that it's connecting different LANs together which are located at different places. So in this example, you can see you have a data center, you have a research development department, you have your branch office connected to a WAN network. So a WAN is a network that operates beyond the geographical scope of a LAN. So it's much bigger scope. So it is developed by using common carriers such as the phone companies. In Malaysia, we have TM, we have Maxis, cable companies. We don't really have cable companies in Malaysia, and network providers. Carrier networks is a proprietary network infrastructure belong to a particular network provider such as TM. So the switching concept in WAN, we have two categories. The first one is circuit switching. The second one is packet switching. So what is a circuit switching? When you make a call, the dial number is used to set the switch in the exchange along the route of a call, so that there is a circuit from the originating caller to the receiver of the call. Because the switching operation used to establish the circuit, the telephone system is called a circuit switch network. In a circuit switching, if the circuit carries data, it may be not efficient. The internal path is shared by several conversations. So time division multiplexing is used to give each conversation share the connection in turn. TDM assures that a fixed capacity connection is made available for all subscribers. Circuit switching and time division multiplexing. Each device to be multiplexed is assigned a specific time slot in the frame. So remember, for a time division multiplexing, time is the important factor. At each time slot, 8 bits is read from each device and a fixed frame is built using the data. So if there is nothing to send for that time slot, 8 null bits are placed in that frame for that device. Packet switching. It allocates the medium to traffic only when needed. So this is the difference here. Only when needed, and share the medium among many users. There must be a mechanism to label the data so the system knows where to deliver the data, which is called a packet. So each packet must contain the network information in order to be delivered correctly to the destination. Packet switch, where unit of data called packet are routed through a network based on destination address contained in each packet. In packet switching, the connection only exists while the data travels through them. So this is another important criteria. They are called virtual circuit and categorized as 2. Switch virtual circuit, SVC, and a permanent virtual circuit. SVC constructed at the same time of the connection and disappear when the use is done. However, permanent virtual circuit is a pre-configured pathway to the provider's network. This path is always available to the user for data transmission. The internet is a good example of connectionless. We have seen this before. Packet switch network. Each packet contains all the addressing information required for successful packet delivery. So here you have to understand that the packet contained the information where to send the packet to ensure successful delivery. You can go on and watch these videos on YouTube. So this is the example of one connections, right? You have a public one or you have a private one. Public means that everybody can actually access. Private means that it is dedicated for an organization. Public and private WAN. LAN are basically private, but WAN can be private or public. So private WAN for the use of an organization only. So it is actually not open to public. Private and dedicated connection. Dedicated or leased line networks are the simplest implementation. A dedicated point-to-point link is provided by vendor who is actually in this telecommunication business, for instance, TM, Maxis, or Digi. Bandwidth is guaranteed between the endpoints, so they dedicate the bandwidth for these users. Point-to-point links are more expensive than shared services, of course, because it is actually a dedicated line, so it is more expensive than the shared services. Private and switch connection. Switch communication links can be either circuit switch or packet switch. Circuit switching is we have public switch telephone network and integrated services digital network. Whereas for packet switching, we have X.25, frame relay, and ATM. Circuit switch or analog dial-up. Low volume data transfer, of course, because it's analog. Limited to less than 56 kilobits per second. Advantage, it is simple, available, and low implementation cost. Disadvantage, of course, is low data rate and long connection time. So basically, users or the client does not like this because of this criteria of the analog dial-up. Circuit switch ISDN is enable the local loop to carry end-to-end digital signals. It has higher capacity connections, and ISDN changes the internal connection of PSTN from carrying analog to digital signals.